Well, thank you for that on chat. All right. You see me talking with my hands and everything. Welcome, everybody. I'm sorry about that. I thought I had opened my microphone. Um, Welcome to Unleash Your Purpose with Animal Insights. I am Kristen Hadley, and I'm super excited about being here today and doing this with you. With you is the operative phrase here. So I invite you to really come into this call and show up into this class today. It's a two-part class. Part one is today, part one is tomorrow. And so feel free to come off camera, first of all. And there is an element of vulnerability in that, I know, because I avoided it at all costs for years. um, and there's something that shifts in us when we show up fully. And so I invite you to pop on camera and be here with all of you so I can see your beautiful face and you can see everyone else's beautiful face. Hi, Mary Helen. And they can see your beautiful faces too. So anybody else, is that a thing for? Anybody else have a thing about the camera? I know I've overcome it, we'll say. So I like to start a couple of minutes into the hour. That's why there was music playing, because I like for people to get what they need and getting here, getting their water or their tea or whatever. But we are at 5 minutes past and we're ready to start. So let me tell you just a little bit about me first, because some of you I know and others of you I don't. And this is our first time meeting and I'm excited about that. So let me ask first, can you guys see me? Is it working that you can see me? Okay. Okay. I had the view set up so that whoever's talking is the main view, but I don't know if that's what you're seeing. So anyway, that's how I have it. I'm Kristen Hadley, and I am an animal communicator. I am an interspecies life coach, and I am an impact and income coach for women healers, animal communicators, coaches, women entrepreneurs who want to make changes in the world through the work that they do. So my work is blending animals, animal wisdom, nature with our work, with money, with purpose, and with the skill set and gifts that people bring, and helping people to put that into something that they can use to help others and help the world. And talking about purpose is one of my passions. My horse many years ago, Woody, and many of you know this story, but my horse Woody was always from the moment I met him, just my life partner. And I struggled with finding my purpose. I struggled with not finding it. I struggled with stepping into it and really stepping up into being the best me that I could be, becoming my best self. And when we become our best selves and we discover that and agree to fully step into it, that's when we're living our purpose. And Woody said to me, one time, he said, actually several times, because I was a little thick and he had to knock it on my skull. He said, if you do not step in and do what you're here to do and what you're drawn to do and what you're passionate about, then things are going to go haywire and things are going to break for you. Things in your body are going to break. And he showed me these like cells that were kind of wonky and not formed right. And I took that as illness would set in, right? And I said, okay, I got the message. I got it. And so I stepped into my work, and I did so with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement, and also a good amount of fear. Because when we step into something that is new and different and that comes from our heart, it can be scary, right? Because it's not like we we earned this certification and we did this other thing over here and somebody else told us you're good enough to go and do that. This is work of the heart, and that takes a lot of courage and showing up on camera and being vulnerable and willing to be our best selves. So we're going to talk about purpose today and tomorrow. And this is 2 days. This is how we're going to roll. Today, I'm going to teach on purpose. I'm going to teach on discovering purpose, how and why we avoid embracing our purpose, what holds us back from living it. And we're going to do an exercise with animals. Oh, hello, Sophia. Hi, pretty. We're going to do an exercise with animals to get clear about our own purpose and our own direction. And then at the end today, I'm going to play a song that is just so beautiful, and it really, really supports us, all of you, all of us, in being our best selves and going back to that nature, that piece of us that um, that wants to come forward, right? It's like we come here to this planet, and we are supposed to grow. And in growing, we bring our best selves forward, just like the flowers do, just like the animals do, just like the trees, just like the robin's eggs, right? So, um, and then tomorrow, tonight, there's going to be some homework, some exercises that I'm going to ask you to do. And you'll get that in an email after the call today. And then tomorrow, in day 2, we're going to go over the homework, and the awareness that you had from it. We're going to do another exercise with animals to empower you going forward in your purpose. And then I'm going to share how I can help you make an impact with your purpose. I have some new things that I'm offering, that I'm opening, new ways to work with me that I'm making available that'll be really helpful. And I'm super excited to share with those about you, but we're going to save that for the end tomorrow. So I want to ask, and I want this to be very interactive and fun. I just want to move this from my screen. Okay, get rid of that and take this, all this stuff, right? Oh, good, you guys are always using the chat. Beautiful. Okay, what I'd like to do is ask you to just share in the chat today, and there'll be time, and maybe we'll come off mute and I'll unmute people or ask you to unmute yourselves, but let's use the chat as an ongoing thing, okay? So tell me what your idea of purpose is. What does purpose mean? And just type that in the chat. What does it mean to you? Willow's driving. Willow's driving. That's great, Willow. That's okay. If you want to share, you can just hop off mute. Go ahead. Anybody, what does purpose mean to you? Type it in the chat. And who feels like they're living out your purpose? Who feels like you're doing that? And on the flip side of that, who feels like you're not living out your purpose? Mary Helen, purpose to me is doing what feels like the best for you and being yourself. Absolutely, for sure. I love it. I love that. The best for you and being yourself. Yes. And I'm going to invite you to also consider another part of the purpose is what is best for others, because we all have something that is a gift that we bring to others. Willow says, not living up to my purpose. Okay. And we're going to look at that, and we're going to look at why. And if you know why, let us know, Willow. And be careful driving. I'm glad you're playing along, but be careful driving. And that was my next question, is who feels like you want to have more of your purpose coming into fruition in your life? Kim says, I agree, and that we are here where we are supposed to be. Yes. And I'm not totally there either. Yeah. And this is beautiful, you guys, because getting clear on these things is what allows us to shift them and change them, right? Like, it's kind of like having the, like the closet over there that we put things in that we don't want to deal with. We don't want to recycle them. We don't want to wear them. We don't want to give them away yet, but they just sit over there kind of not doing anything. And that creates this heaviness. It creates this clutter. It creates this energetic block. And we do the same thing with living our purpose, right? Cameron says, good question. Still figuring it out. Yes. And my guess is that you really do know, but that it feels like it's a little too big and a little too scary to fully step into. And that's okay, because I don't think that ever goes away. I really don't. And I'm not saying that so that you feel like, oh, crap, it's always going to be like this. It's not. But growing gets easier and expanding gets easier. And the more that we step in and expand to the next level that might feel scary or might feel painful or might feel whatever, uncomfortable, then we just get used to that sensation of, oh, this is just a new me. It's just a new level. It's going to be a little scary. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. I'm going to experience things that I haven't before. I may bump into other people's edges that I haven't before. I may bump into people I really want to meet. I may bump into people I really don't want to be with anymore. Like all of that is possible when we step into our purpose. And nature and animals, they guide us in this, you know, and they have as sentient beings the clearest and most defined purpose. And we can learn from them so much about ours, right? You know, having purpose doesn't mean that we only have to do one thing and that we have to live a secular life on a mountain and only do one thing. And we can't be, you know, all the other aspects of us, right? We're humans and we're designed to be multifaceted, right? Very different than animals, and particularly wild animals, right? Although they are multifaceted, and you're here in my world because you understand and respect and appreciate that all beings are sentient beings and have spirit within them, right? So we are all the same, yet we in our bodies as humans, we're supposed to be different. We're supposed to be multifaceted and show up differently in our lives than the animals do, right? And otters show up differently than whales, and dolphins show up differently than seagulls, right? Like, so it doesn't mean that we are not the same. It just means I say we are all from the same undifferentiated source in differentiated forms. So, so think about all the things that we desire to do. Some of you may be partners, you may be wives, you may be moms, sisters, animal healers, daughters, entrepreneurs, leaders, speakers, teachers, all the things, right? And we can have them all as humans. It's when we cut off or we feel that the one that is speaking to our hearts the most is hard, or it's going to be difficult, or it's not meant for me, or I have to become better in order to do so, right? That we fall off track. And then we lose momentum. And then what happens? Type it in the chat. What happens when we fall off track, we hold back, we suck back, and we lose momentum? We give up, right? We give up. Or we keep bumping into the same blocks, right? We keep bumping into the same wall. So I want you to think about just for a minute, because you know, I teach a lot around the guidance of animals in nature. And sometimes just because something seems like it's an easy trajectory for an animal, remember I said their lives are different than ours, but they have the same source. They know their purpose. They don't typically fall off the fall out of alignment. But I want you to see how, and I just thinking like this is so much fun. I want you to see how other beings also have multiple purposes, right? They have multiple things that they do in their lives. And it doesn't mean that they can't be all of them. All right. So just kind of go with me here for a minute. What came to me is like the willow tree, right? And all the different things that the willow tree does. And this is my little note paper that I use for the willow tree, right? And this is going to be part of your homework tonight. But a willow tree does all kinds of things, right? It's not just that it grows and it makes shade or it produces chlorophyll or whatever. A willow tree grows where the soil is wet, and it pulls moisture, pulls water from the soil so that other plants around that can grow and animals can live there. Otherwise, everything would be a swampy mess, right? That's why willow trees grow where they do. They drain the swamps so that it allows new earth to grow. They endure long droughts where all other life dies, right? Trees die, grass dries, whatever. Willow trees will endure because they have really deep roots that go, and they're water roots. They create shade, they create shelter, they're homes for busy caterpillars and birds, they're resting places for migrating animals. They contribute to beauty in the world. And what I love about willow trees, one of the most amazing things, is I used to use those beautiful fronds, those beautiful weeping branches, and I would put them, like tie them in my ponytail, and this makes me cry. I put them in my shorts, you know, through the belt loop of my shorts, and they were my mane and my tail when I was a horse, when I was a kid. You know, they create swings for kids. So, you know, they remind us of, and they're also here to teach us, right? They teach us about resilience and ease and flow and grace, and that growth can be easy. Willow trees grow really fast. So I'm mentioning this because sometimes when we are in our lives and it's full and we have parents to care for or children to care for or a job to do temporarily that's paying this or doing that, or we have this commitment and that commitment, all these different ways that we show up, we feel like we can't be on purpose. We feel like we're not on purpose. And when in reality, we just need to give it a little bit more attention and identify what it is so that we can give it life. Right? Is that making sense for people? Go ahead and type in the chat. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Mary Helen, I'm reading what you said. When I see a pattern coming up and I do my best to do something else, um, even if it doesn't have a direct connection with what I wanted to fall into. So you mean like following the breadcrumbs? Is that what you mean? Um, Other people, go ahead and type in what's coming up for you if things are. Um, so the we tend to get distracted, right? As humans, we have lots of things. We have lots of things in our world that distract us, but we live a paradoxical life as humans too, and this is really important to consider, right? The paradox is one or the other, right? The law of relativity, right? And we are humans, and we make assessments and judgments about things. It's part of what keeps us alive and safe, but it also keeps us living in this sense of good or not good, better or worse, more or less, right? And when you think about oneness, when you think about living in oneness, and I know you understand what that is because you're here understanding that we all are one, nature, animals, humans, right? We share the same spirit, the same undifferentiated source, right? That source is in animals, plants, all beings, all elements. And when we connect with animals and people through telepathy, that's why it works, is because of that oneness. Animal doesn't have to be here in their differentiated source. The undifferentiated source connects us, and we can connect with anything, anywhere, anyone, any being on the planet. So um, the our purpose in being alive is to live and to expand and to grow and to serve. And we cut ourselves off of those potentials or really reaching our potential there because we come up with we live in this paradox of the opposites, right? Law of opposites. Hard, easy, fast, slow, right, wrong, enough, too little, beautiful, ugly, comfortable, uncomfortable. And we bump into these edges and on living fully and really stepping into our purpose because these edges create that duality and then we ricochet in the other direction. How many times has that happened for you? You step in, you say, oh, this feels right. I want to do this. This feels great. I'm going to step in on purpose. And then things feel a little bit difficult. Or you're met with your own feelings of being good enough, right? Or not good enough. Or you're met with your fears of going on camera, right? That was a big one for me. Um, you know, people come up with this around animal communication all the time. I don't get this and I don't get that. This is hard for me, right? We set it up where we resist and we fall out of alignment with that desire that we have to live on purpose. So I believe that we are supposed to be, oh, hold on. I just want to make sure. Oh, there. I let somebody left and came back in. Okay. Sorry. I believe we're supposed to do work that we love. We are supposed to live on purpose, just like my horse Woody said, and that brings us joy and it gives us the empowerment to help others, right? And I believe we're supposed to be well compensated for the work that we do. We are supposed to ever grow and expand through helping others, and we can do that as we circulate our gifts in the world. So if you don't love what you're doing, listen to that, right? If you don't love what you're doing, how many people here right now are doing things they don't love doing? I just want to read here because this is all good. I love when you guys share. It's more of not allowing, Mary Helen said, it's more a lot of allowing myself to fall into habits and patterns that I recognize that keep me stuck. Yes. Yes. And I know you, Mary Helen, and I know that you have done an amazing job of sailing right over those things. Kim, I notice that things happen to tell you that you're on your true path, like an obscure song that means a lot to me. It comes in while I was at the bank withdrawing money to leave my husband and for my new apartment, and the song is Home We Go. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. Yes, yes. Hello. Right? These things have happened before to me, and I need to pay attention more. Absolutely. What is that? Those are the signs of the universe, right? That's the universe saying, you're right on track. That's things aligning, right? And indication and I'll say proof, right? That we are on track. This is the right next step. And when you take the right next step, then the right next step comes, right? It's such a beautiful thing. And recognize those. For me, sometimes numbers are really significant for me. Like when it's 11:11 or when it's 1:11 or 12:12. So I'll be working away and I look up at my clock and it's 3:33, like those little things that just say, oh, okay, thank you. I'm listening, I'm paying attention, and I'm on my path. Fantastic. Look for those things, you guys. Those are great. Um, okay. So again, and Kim, just like your example, just because something is challenging doesn't mean that you're not supposed to do it, right? Like you said, taking out money to leave your husband, that's challenging. It's freaking challenging, but it's the right thing to do, right? Um, excuse me. And I know for some people, like if you're stamping letters or making widgets or I don't know, making hamburgers, and that's not what you love to do, then you aren't supposed to be doing it, right? There'll be someone else who needs and loves that role, right? And sometimes we stay stuck in things because we feel like we're supposed to, or no one else is going to take over, or all the things. And what you need to know is by moving more towards your purpose, you create the space for someone else to step in and do the work that you were doing. This happened in my work, right? In my work, being an animal communicator, and that was my role, was working with clients. And then I started teaching people animal communication, and I expanded, and now they are working with people as clients and doing animal communication consultations, and they're teaching. Like it's this thing. As we grow, we involve other people in their growth too, right? So trust the whispers of the spirit. Sophia, Kim says, numbers happen to me as well, like waking up at the same time every day, 4 hours early. Yes. Ask spirit, ask the universe what it is that you're supposed to be noticing then, or letting come in then. That early time, that 3-4 o'clock in the morning, which is probably what you're talking about, that is a very open time when we can really, the veils are thin and we can really take in what is meant for us to know. So I'll do journaling then, or I'll get up and I'll just start kind of brain dumping thoughts about classes and offerings and all of that during that time, rather than sitting there struggling to go back to sleep. Sophia says, sorry, I'm using the cell phone and I don't want to make everyone dizzy when I type. I feel when I'm on purpose, I physically feel different. It's an energetic exchange and the universe supports it in some way. Yes, I love that, Sophia. And Sophia, I know you are very sensitive. And through doing the work that you have done and bringing forward your purpose and your gifts, that sensitivity probably is increasing. And so we start to notice, like our bodies are the pendulum, right? And we start to notice when we're off, when we're out of alignment, because it just doesn't feel good. This is what my horse Woody was talking to me about. Sorry, just take a sip there. This is what Woody was talking with me about, is you got to, all things align. And if you get out of alignment, other things are going to go wonky too. So feel free to ask questions in here too, you guys. If you have questions coming up, I'm going to leave some time at the end for questions today before I play the song. And then we will, but just ask as we go along. This is really open and flowy. I love flowy. Flowy is one of my favorite words. Flowy are my favorite clothes, unless they're yoga pants and a spandex, but flow is great. Cameron says, I notice numbers as well, usually driving with the dogs to classes or trials. Sometimes it's hard to figure out the meaning. Yesterday, I noticed multiple license plates with letters that were palindromes, G, F, V, or F, and F. Yes. In various combinations, there were enough that I wondered about the message, but I wasn't able to figure it out. Cameron, that's so cool. And what I want to give you guys is permission to let it mean what it means, right? Let it be easy. How, my favorite statement, how easy can I let this be? Let it be easy. Let it come, because it isn't always like profound, right? And it isn't always elusive or hidden. It can just be in that moment, like, wow, I'm going to trials with my dogs. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Or it's something else, I don't know, but just ask in that moment. Sometimes we feel as though it has to be like this, divine magic wand that hits us on the head that gives us enlightenment, and it's not. It's the little things, it's the little growth, right? It's in, and all of it is miraculous. When you watch those little bean plants or the sweet pea flowers come up and they start like this little thing, like all of it's miraculous. Yes, they're beautiful when they're full bloom, but all of this is miraculous too. So let it be easy, the little baby steps, and trust what you got. Um, trust the whispers of spirit. Um, and 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 what does spirit whisper to you? Think about that for a minute. Tell me, what does spirit whisper to you? How do you respond? Go ahead and type these things in. How have you heard whispers from spirit before? And how do you respond? Maybe it isn't the actual letters, but the fact that the powers that be got you to look. Yes. And the idea that you're getting a heads up. Yes. Yes. Exactly. In spirit means inspiration. Inspired is in spirit, right? When you're in connected with spirit, that's where inspiration comes from. And by focusing on what is or isn't, or I didn't get it, or oh, the meaning, I'm not sure, we fall out of flow. So come back to neutrality and see what is possible. Mary Helen, I say thank you. Yes. Thank you. And even though I don't know the meaning in this moment, that's okay. I trust that it's going to be revealed for me. I love it. Yes. So how does all this relate to your purpose, right? What to do to step into that serving and start serving or helping or growing or expanding or creating what it is that you want to change. Take the whisper from spirit, take that inspiration and take some kind of action toward it, right? We're not meant to learn about our best selves and then hide, right? We're meant to share it in some way with others. And I cannot say that enough. This is where the healers come in, right? This is where you, as animal communicators, as animal healers, as teachers, as coaches, where you understand and you are in oneness and in you become in alignment with your purpose and you share this with others. That's what creates the ripple effect, right? And imagine, right, if you in nature stumbled upon like this beautiful little animal, like a little chipmunk, right, who was hiding under a fern leaf. And he said, you saw him there and he was like, oh, I'm afraid I'm not good enough to be a great chipmunk and do my thing in the world. I'm afraid I don't look like the others. I'm afraid I don't feel like that. I'm not as strong. I don't run as fast. And your heart would just break for him, right? Like, no way, buddy, you're a chipmunk. You go do your thing, you know? He has a purpose and your heart would break for him. And that's how I feel when I see healers and animal communicators and coaches and teachers and animal practitioners, people who are just speak my language, not living their purpose and afraid to show up and afraid to step in. So I want to just stop there for a second and see if anybody has questions. Anything that coming up for you with this? Here's Rosie. Rosie always shows up with matters of the heart when I'm working. So just type those in, guys, as they come, if they do. And I'd like to take just a little couple of minutes here and do a meditation with an animal teacher around purpose. Okay. So if you want, you can stay on camera or you can go off camera, whichever. But I think I'll turn my camera off just for distraction purposes. So if you stay on, you don't have to. Okay. And feel your feet on the ground and lean back in your chair and take a deep breath, feeling your body supported in the chair that you're in. And drop your shoulders, relax your belly, relax your hips, relax your knees. Let your ankles relax. Let your palms open and take a nice deep breath in. And in this little meditation that we do, you are going to meet an animal teacher or a nature teacher, an element in nature, perhaps a flower, a plant, an object, stone, an element, and learn from them about your purpose. So as you lean back in your chair, allow yourself to go to what might be your favorite space in nature, your favorite place to be out in nature. It may be someplace you've never been that you only dream of being. Maybe it's on top of a mountain. Maybe it's in the rainforest. Maybe it's at the ocean. Maybe it's your own backyard. And just imagine yourself there where you can feel the temperature of the air surrounding your body. You can smell all the smells that are available there. You can hear the sounds. And take a deep breath in, taking in all of that sensory bliss. And very softly, with a soft focus, allow yourself to take in everything that you see. Everything that you see. Like you can do a 360 all the way around. And then you can gently close your eyes and simply allow an animal or a being of nature to come to you, to come into your awareness. You might feel them in your heart space. You might see them in your mind's eye. They may pop in somewhere in your peripheral vision, and just allow this being to be your teacher. And notice if they invite you to come closer, or notice if they invite you to use your vision and just take in everything about them. And feel your heart connected with this being. Feel your heart fully loving and appreciating, feeling with this being. And notice all you can about what you see, what you're feeling from this being. And in your heart space, open to the topic of purpose. And just ask this being, this animal, whoever it may be, to share with you about their purpose. What is their purpose? What is their purpose in life? and take all of that in. What is their purpose in your life? And take all of that in. You can ask this being, this animal or nature being, what they see in you that is special. And then you can ask them, what is special about them? And let your heart be open and your shoulders relax and stay connected with this being. And you can ask, what is my next step? What is my next step? And let them enlighten you. Feel from them, understand from them, hear from them what your next step is in living your purpose. And then ask them if there's anything they have, any wisdom or insight that would be helpful for you. It's a very personal, beautiful share. What wisdom or insight do they have that would be helpful for you? And breathe that in, all of that they shared. And gently, from your heart to theirs, feeling and sharing so much love and appreciation, say thank you with full gratitude. And take a deep breath in. Notice the beautiful space you're in nature. And allow that animal or that nature being to go back to their purpose. As you take another breath in, embodying your purpose. And feel your feet on the ground. Feel your body in the chair. And gently open your eyes and come back on camera. And I would love to hear from you what you experienced. We'll hear from a couple people. Who wants to share? Come back on camera and let us know what you discovered. um, okay, so Sophia. Oh, Sophia, I missed this about Dari. Sometimes whatever's happening is she parking through them. But great moments that matter between us. So beautiful. Cool, Sophia. What did What did the lamb share? Go ahead and come off mute, guys. You can talk right now. Um,
Okay, that's much easier because I'm a slow typist. Um, Hi. So it was a lamb-looking, fluffy sort of creature. It didn't feel like of this earth right now, but very powerful. And she said her purpose, and I say she because I just thought she, um, her purpose was to sort of rain light and sparkle in a very gentle, soft way on all of us, on the whole world, on the whole planet. Um,
mm,
but in a very sort of gentle, soft way. Um, and when I asked what my purpose was, and she said, you can shed a lot of light for people and give a lot of knowledge. And she said, you're like a well in a fountain, so it's time to sort of whatever the word is.
bubble
Yeah,
over.
that, that,
Time to, yeah, what do fountains do? They bubble over. I don't know.
whatever the word is.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Sophia. So what, how does that feel?
It makes me feel happy. I feel joy inside. I
Mm,
feel I feel good.
mhm. Is what's the inspiration going forward? Is there anything you feel um
Well, I asked that as well, or something like that, and she said, you have to do more earthly work. You have to actually do the grind, the earthly part
mm,
of
mm,
getting out information, the website, business, like that, the earthly,
mhm,
talk about yourself, sell yourself, the earthly work.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, I love it. I love it, Sophia. And this is what feels like the edge, right? These things are the hard part because we don't always know how to do it. And there's all these different ways that people tell you how to do it. And, blah, blah, all these different choices about how to do it. And, whoa, right? So just do it. Just start. I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. Kim said she is a really slow typer too. So, oh. You could talk, Kim, if you want to. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and pop off and tell us.
I haven't done that exercise in a long time. Um, there is a place that I go. It was out in the middle, surrounded by forest, but a clearing that I sit in. Um, I actually had several different animals come to me. One was a butterfly, spider, and a hawk.
Mm,
Uh, I love what I do as far as my job. Doesn't pay as well as I should that other places pay. But I get that once I get my home, it's like, find my home and make my home, a spider making a web and creating my new home. Because I'm moving into a brand new mobile home at the end of the year. And I've
yeah.
never owned my own home before. So this is the first time that I'm creating a home just for myself and not with somebody or for somebody. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like the first time for me. Um, and I think that I'm a very creative person. So I think that if I were to do something different other than what I'm doing right now, I would have to kind of do those things and make my own home and my own space for me and live my life for myself rather than somebody else. I think that's just going to manifest itself as to what that might be.
Mm,
Um, so right now it's just kind of like the spider and the butterfly. Just I need to metamorphose my, I don't know
yes.
what the word is, myself into the person that I kind of lost by
Yeah.
being in a relationship. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. And spiders are all about feminine energy, right? And metamorphosize. I don't know if that's the word, but yeah, yeah. And, you know, just I love that sense of allowing, and I love your openness, trusting that sense that this is the path. Um, and and you've opened it, right? Like you've said, okay, yeah, okay, and being ready as you are on that path for the next things to come in. It's so beautiful.
And it's funny because I don't like spiders. In fact, spiders has come up to me before. I went on a women's retreat for a weekend when I was in my first apartment alone ever, because I've always been in relationships. When I came back from the retreat, they were everywhere. I set up a Vision Quest circle, and I must have been in a nest of them. And of course, everybody got visited by the thing that they didn't like. So
Yeah.
they followed me home. They were in all the bushes in front of my apartment. I had like an area sitting out or whatever, and they were all over the trees and all over the bushes. And somebody told me they weren't there the day before. So they have manifest themselves to me before, telling me that I'm going to be persistent until you listen to what we have to say. The
Right.
thing of it is I don't like them. You know
Well,
what I mean?
you
So
not yet.
yeah, I don't like go crazy and get on my furniture, but I don't want them in bed with me or, you know, crawling on me and stuff like that. So most of the time I don't want them in my space, but
Right, right. Yeah, we don't have to want to like snuggle up to a killer whale. I get that. I don't, but I can love them. You know, I happen to really like spiders. I will pet them. I love them. But that is so exciting. And you know, we were talking about like the numbers and just the signs and things like those signs. You can't make this stuff up. You know,
Mhm.
that's my other favorite saying. You can't make this shit up. You know, it is what it is. And so powerful, so beautiful stepping into your feminine energy, beautiful stepping into your feminine strength, right? And you becoming your best self. It's so beautiful, Kim. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to share? What you experience helps others, so don't be shy. Right? This is all about purpose, right? Like what you experience helps others. And when you come to right, the purpose of this is in sharing your experience, you're stepping into your purpose and giving to others what new insights can come. I want to leave time. So pop off mute and just start if you guys have anything. I want to leave time for some questions and for our song. But I just want to see here what I want to cover today. I think what I'd like to offer is give yourself permission to really be and really own your specialness in this universe. And as humans, you know, sometimes we look around and there are some humans who don't feel like we say, well, oh, why? You know, I mean, people who've done really bad things, right? And things that have happened in our own lives that are really difficult or hard, or sad or devastating. And the universe, and I don't want this to sound Pollyanna at all, but the universe is far too masterful to make a mistake, right? And we are all put here for a purpose, for a reason. And how we navigate in these short 89 or 95 or 100 years is really up to us. And it's about alignment. And when those crazy things or radical things or undesirable things happen, it's because things have fallen out of alignment. And so creating more alignment, being in circles like this, doing things for ourselves that keep us moving forward toward the purpose, right? And being inspired, whatever that may be, that's part of our role in creating the ripple of good, right? It may not be that we just, you know, all of a sudden land on, oh my God, I'm supposed to be a teacher of astrophysics, and then boom, you know, I mean, maybe it is, but it's also living in alignment so that others can find alignment, right? So I hope that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense. And what that also does is it reminds us that we are part of the perfection in this universe, even when things feel muddy or confusing or uncertain or unclear, right? So stay aligned with what feels like your purpose, what feels on purpose, and what feels like you're living in alignment day in and day out. And when you start asking the question, or you start wondering, you know, or you're really inspired, maybe that's it. When you say, "Oh my God, I love this. I could do this all day long." Do it. Ask questions. Ask other people. Stay in connection and community with people who are doing things that they love. Right? Reach out. That's the universe saying to you, that's spirit whispering to you and saying, this is right on par for you. This is right on course for you. You want more of that to fuel your little engine, right? To fuel your life. So I have some homework for you that I'm going to send. Tomorrow we meet at the same time. I want to just take a couple of minutes here for questions. Or shares, and please ask, or I can't imagine there aren't any questions or comments based on what people have shared or what we've talked about today. So we'll take a minute for that, and if there aren't any, then we'll move into playing our song and closing after that. What feels like the hard parts? Like when you think about your purpose and living on purpose and being in purpose, what feels like the hard stuff? What comes up as the resistance? Nicole, are you talking? Because I can't. You're popping in as speaker view, and I'd love to hear you.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't know. Am I on off mute? I'm having difficulties today, technical
Yeah.
difficulties.
I can hear you.
Last time I tried to chat, it kicked me off the whole thing. So,
Oh, no, we can hear you. Go ahead.
oh, okay. Yeah, I just wanted to, I had trouble just even doing the exercise due to resistance. So I didn't even get that far.
Resistance. So the exercise and connecting with an animal or a nature being.
Yeah, it's I have to go way slower.
Okay.
And yeah, for me, way slower.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I can't even get past the resistance today.
That's okay. That's okay. And I can help you with that. And I'd like you to think about just right now, what would it feel like if you didn't bump into resistance? And this isn't a rhetorical question. I'm not trying to be like sneaky and coy here. I just want to ask you, what would it feel like?
Well, the first thing that popped in my head when you said that was foreign.
Foreign. Okay. So, mm, mhm. It's interesting, Nicole, because the foreign can mean different. And
Mhm.
and when we connect with an animal or nature being, nature spirit, it is different. It can feel different. It should feel different because they aren't us. Remember, we're all source, but they're a differentiated form of an undifferentiated source. So it does feel different, right?
Mhm.
So, and I just want to, we're going to do some more of this tomorrow. So come back tomorrow.
Mhm.
But allowing that to be normal, right? Like it is different. We feel foreign, we feel different. And then feeling something, anything that is there, even the difference, right? Like if you're bumping into feeling like, oh, there's resistance. Okay, what does that resistance feel like? And then it's like, oh, it feels like stuck. It feels like heavy. It feels like silence. Okay, What's different from silence? What else can I notice right now? What else can I feel right now that's different from that? Right. And it doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be that, a hawk flies into your heart and all this stuff, right? You know, um, but it might be. So let it be without judgment. Remember what I was talking about before about
Mhm.
live through this dichotomy of opposites and relativity. And so just let it be.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Mhm. Anybody else?
I have a comment. Um, you know, and I guess it's Nicole that was speaking. I would offer that I've had things along my way that I didn't know how to overcome, or I didn't know what it was that was impeding everything. And it still comes to play all the time because it's my own kinds of resistance that pop up, my own kinds of little roadblocks, whatever you want to call it. But I think one thing is when we look at it in a way of, yeah, just what you were saying, Kristen, there's the oneness, but then there's us. And then the us has been this energy that may have not always been loved or whatever, nurtured, whatever. And we have all this thing like, I've got to make my way in the world, even though I'm the weirdo. That's the way it felt for me. And so we hold that so tightly and guard that so preciously because we had to. And then opening that up is so different and scary. And so it still works, it still applies to me. And so when Nicole was talking, it was almost like the image, which to me could be construed as scary, but like this information coming to her would be like this. I felt it like a lava flow, but it was not like the big giant one. It's the one that goes along and it's warm and golden and red and crinkly. And it's like, to me, it would be like Mother Earth warmth, as opposed to my human thinking that it's, oh my God, it's going to create havoc in every part of its life in part of on the earth. It's the same. We're to allow that beautiful warm flow to come in because we sometimes don't know what to do with it. We don't know how we've protected ourselves. We don't necessarily recognize it and to allow it in because because then you're not the you thought you were. You're a new you. So it applies now, for me too.
Thank you, Mary Helen. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And that is what we're talking about, right? Like we came in with a purpose, and as we grow, it's a new us every moment, every experience, every discovery, every decision, every new belief, every belief we let go of, right? Every identity that we have and all the different facets. Like we get to continually evolve. And part of our responsibility is to stay evolving and step in closer to what feels good, right? And let the resistance be there, and then let it be something different, right? It will change. It starts to change when we allow it, when we invite that, when we're open to that, when we believe that that's possible. This is so beautiful, you guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play a song. And I love this song. It's so powerful in getting to the core of who we are. And really celebrating that, because that's where we cultivate the strength and the power and we reconnect with why we're here. And so I have a song we're going to play, and then look in your inbox this afternoon for the homework, and then you'll get another reminder tomorrow. It's the same link, I believe, but anyway, for the call tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Okay, so we'll do the song, and then we'll come back on, and I will just say goodbye to everybody, and then we'll end for today. And this has been so beautiful, you guys. Thank you so, so much. Let me bear with me as I share my screen and do the things. I don't know how to do it. So 1 second. I'm gonna let this get bigger. And I don't know how to collapse that. Those stupid ad things at the side. I don't know how to do that. But anyway, okay. There we go. Hold on, give me one moment. Share screen. Desktop 1. Share. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Yes? Somebody,
Yeah.
wait.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay,
Yep, I can see it.
okay, great. I'm going to just play this song and enjoy. You can stay on camera. I am light, I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light, I am light. Yeah. I am I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside. Oh, light. Oh, light. Oh, light. Yeah. Oh, light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light.
I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am I.
Well, there you have it. Thank you, everybody. Sending you all my love. And I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Look for the homework coming tonight. Okay. Bye.